This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
It's been said, and you and I've talked about it before, that for lack of a better word, there was a style that was expected in Jim Crockett Promotions and a different style that they worked for Vince McMahon's WWF. Were there, to use a modern word, an agent or a producer? Did they have agents or producers in either Pensacola or in Watts territory, or is that essentially what Grizzly was doing?
Well, yeah, we'll just stay with the Watts. I think it's easier when we get to the way Pensacola conducted their business when we get back there. But we got a little ways to go here, if that's okay.
Sure.
So this is the first time I started hearing about rules.
Okay.
Now, Bill Watts had very strict rules. And Tim said, here's some things that are going to sound a little funny to you, but here's the way it goes. We're probably going to go, because I'm going to be working with you. I've seen the booker sheet all of next week. Well, it turned out I worked with Tim, probably 2 weeks a month for the 5 months I was there. Solid, right. Every single day. He said, here's the deal. No punching, no kicking. We're probably going to wrestle 20-minute Broadway, which means we're going to go through the time limit without a finish. So stay in the ring, no punching, no kicking, don't gouge your eyes, don't do any of that cheap stuff. Get in there and work a hold and wrestle. And man, after a night or two with Tim leading me by the nose, because he was already good. He just hadn't been used in a bright spotlight yet. But he was really good. And man, he taught me. He led me through the matches. He called everything in the ring. Nobody saw him say a word. And that is how I learned. I learned so much for those 5 months because I had no choice. I had to get my heat and use my cutoff spot, had to be a wrestling maneuver. It couldn't be a punch or a kick or a thumb in the eye. So it causes you to have to learn how to work off of holds, how to wrestle, and how to put a match together that makes sense and will be intriguing because his audience was already conditioned that the guys in the first match are just going to wrestle. And the audience knew that. They didn't expect you to throw a guy out over the top rope to the floor or any of that stuff, or to poke a guy in the eye or any of that. They knew what to expect.
So when you come back through the curtain, you sort of mentioned it earlier. I want to circle back to what you said. You're finishing up now. You came in for the one match with Kamala. Now you've done 2 sets of TV tapings on the same day. So you've had 2 matches on the same day, but now somebody, I assume it's Grizzly, is going to tell you, hey, come back in a couple weeks and do it again.
I think I'd already had a starting date.
Okay.
So
I think that match happened October 13th. I think your next match was against Jesse Barr, who would go on to become Jimmy Jack Funk 13 days later on October 26th. Now my research might not be correct, but I bring that up because you did mention earlier, okay, so we went back to Rome and then we came back. When do you make the trip back to Rome?
Okay. I didn't. And I think what's missing is you don't have house shows listed, right? Just television. That's what you're going off of.
No, I mean, I don't think that match with Kamala was on TV, was it?
No. That match with Kamala, I was actually starting to work the territory.
Right.
I did two TVs. He said, go home, get your clothes. I got them, came back, and my first house show was with Kamala. And I would have been there for the next 5 months straight. I was already there.
I got you.
So after those TVs, as Ted and I tagged,
mm-hmm.
I just went on it. I might not have been on TV for another however many weeks.
Okay, so that brings up the next point. After you finish your match here, your first set of TV tapings, Duggan and DiBiase get the win over you and Ted Allen. You come back through the curtain and they say, because originally I thought it was, we're going to bring you out for a couple of TVs. Well, now we've done that. They say at this point, hey, we're going to keep you around.
They gave me a booking sheet and said, here's your bookings. Don't be late. Be there at so-and-so time. And that was it.
Any chance you still have an old booking sheet?
God, no.
Can you describe to our listeners what a booking sheet would have looked like?
Town, name of the building, and the date.
I know this is silly, but is this something that Grizzly just handwrites out on a notebook sheet of paper, or is it on letterhead and typed up and some secretary did it?
Yeah, it was typed up, and there was no information that would have been compromising anything. It was just a building, a date, the name of the building, the date, and the time to be there. That was it.
So here comes, mentioned a minute ago that, you know, even in those days, you didn't bring your family around, and something I've heard over the years is you didn't even bring your girlfriend around. And I don't mean like my girlfriend in this town. I mean my real girlfriend, because if your wife or girlfriend is with you and they're in the crowd and the fans know that that's your wife, it might hurt your appeal with some of the ladies, but it also might ruin, for lack of a better word, the illusion. Because if you're getting the tar beat out of you in the ring and they look over and see your wife just reading a book, well, that's not very convincing that you're in any real imminent danger if your loved one doesn't really seem to mind that you're toting ass whooping, right?
Very astute point. And, but there were all kind of what ifs.
Right.
If you were a baby face and you happen to be one that was getting pushed and you were a handsome guy and you were there to draw the girls.
Yeah.
To bring a girl with you, which you're right, everybody in the building saw you walking in the back door because the real hardcore fans were out back in the parking lot waiting for you to pull up.
Yeah.
So they could, say hello, scream at you, hope that you saw them and sign autographs for the baby faces. That was their deal. So you would actually let them down that, oh, he's got a girlfriend.
Yep.
Now, if you're a heel and you bring your girl in and everybody zeroes in on her, a little bit later that night, you're going to be doing everything in your power to piss them off.
Yeah.
Which makes her a target.
Yes, it does.
Potentially. And a lot of guys never figured that out. They became a victim, as much as the babyface getting his ass kicked. So I saw pretty quickly that didn't work. And at that point in time, I didn't have a girlfriend, wasn't married, any of those things. I was just concentrating on learning my craft, but I saw it in many scenarios both ways, but you didn't want to put your family in a spotlight. That's for sure.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.